寮に案内したいが、今日はフェンシング部に顔を出す約束をしていて。
僕が案内しますので、ご心配なく。
かたじけない。
On that note, I headed outside with Kikuchio.
そこのところでもう横にそれます。見落とすと分かりにくいですね。
I see. Although our destination was nearby, we took a path that was easy to get lost on. Having Kikuchio around to act as my guide was a huge help. And then, is something unusual about the dorm? I asked him point blank. It was probably difficult to talk about in front of Elisan, who was the one who referred me, but...
はい。決して問題があるわけではないのですが、本来、ノーブル学園は全寮制。生徒は全員、寮に入ることが予定されていました。
Oh, it's not now? The school advertised it as such before it officially opened its doors.
全校生300人分の寮は予定されたのですが、設計された建物は一部屋3人で入るものでした。これが生徒たちから不評を買ったのです。たった12畳の部屋に3人は住めないと。
I guess that would be little tiny for some, but was it really that big of a deal? The way I saw it, a room like that would be massive for a single person. Then again, the rich may feel differently. If it were 214 square feet, then that would mean each person would be given about 71 square feet of space. That would feel kind of cramped.
学園側はその要望を組み、一人一部屋。結果、寮の収容人数は100人まで減ることになりました。
What about the other 200?
丘を下ったところにあるアパートを学園が買い取って当てているそうです。まあそこを使っているのは30人くらい。他はマンションを買うか、3年間駅前のホテルを借りるかする方が多いですが。
Of course, rich people would do that. Where are you staying?
うちの152番目の別荘がすぐそばにありました。
Holy shit. This hoity-toity sounding conversation continued, but I could accept anything after befriending a princess not 24 hours prior. I'm surprised I managed to get a room at the dorms then.
ゲスト用として常に5部屋は空けているようですよ。もし諸外国のセレブが転入を望んだとき、迅速に受け入れられるように。
Pretty calculating of them. That means getting a room here is even more difficult. Wouldn't it be an issue for a commoner like me to move in?
そう思ってらっしゃる方も多いやもしれません。やはり寮は便利なので、望んで入れない方は毎年多いです。
I only got in due to extenuating circumstances, so I guess everyone was expressing their dissatisfaction with the system by directing it at me. Oh well, maybe that was inevitable.
ただ、それより問題なのは。
Really?
はい。こちらが本題です。さっきも述べた通り、寮から溢れた方は丘の下に住むしかない。つまり、毎朝この坂道を登らなければならない。
Ah, it's not really steep, but it is long. The academy was fairly deep in the foothills, so it was a ways off. I hadn't really noticed it yesterday, but the thought had occurred to me earlier this morning. Anyone who lives in the dorms has a much shorter commute. Is that why they are jealous?
ええ、やっかみもそうです。だがそれ以上に体力の話です。自然と寮に住める人間を選ぶときは。
No, I guess the dorms are mostly occupied by girls, huh?
レディーファーストが適用されるのです。
本当に来たわ、あの庶民。ここって女子寮じゃありませんの？名目上は男女共用。もともと男女全員が入れる仕様ではあるんだよ。今はマストで女子オンリーなだけで。
Seriously? Inside was a garden of women. It was high time for people to get home from school. Droves of students were heading inside, but they were all women.
明文化されたことではないので、カバレロさんたちには伝わっていなかったようですね。
Perceiving pretenses and reading the mood is a large part of the Japanese culture after all.
逆に読めないこともまた シルビアさんやカバリエロさんの魅力かもしれませんね。では僕はこれで。
Wait, don't leave me! I caught Kikuchio as he tried to escape.
話してください。この空気耐えられません。
No shit! Of course it would be with all these women eyeballing us. Shut up! Don't run away! My lord! A commoner's in trouble! My lord!
そう言われては貴族として放っておくわけには。
Thank goodness he was easy to handle. While I had my hands full with him, everyone had begun to glare at us with a fierce intensity.
何君、この寮に何か用？ここ女の子しかいないんで、入り口で立ってると変な目で見られますよ、先輩。
Yeah. I headed to the corner. What a pain. It was, unofficially, a women's dorm. Even with 2 men standing outside, no one assumed I lived here. The dorm itself was what you would expect from a rich school and was more than adequate for students to live in. It looked more like a hotel than a dorm, especially with how pristine and well decorated it was. The second you walked through the front door, there was a terrace where students could relax. Was that a convenience store inside? It even had a Starbucks-looking coffee stand next door. I had heard of rich schools having convenience stores on campus before, but I assumed it was rare for them to also be inside the dorms themselves. Oh, there were even restrooms inside the shop. The placards on the bathroom doors depicted a little man in blue on one and a red woman on the other. The red door led to the men's bathroom, which meant that this was not a women's dormitory.
いやー、最近ちょっと硬くてさ。お野菜もちゃんと食べなきゃダメですよ、先輩。
These young women walked in like it were only natural though, which meant the men's bathroom was fair game. It was painfully clear to me now how unwelcome men were here. And judging by their stares, something peculiar had entered the mix. A boy sneaking around the women's dorm made sense. Was I seriously going to live here? Could I possibly get the 100 people who lived here to accept me?
市松さん、ようこそ。
Ah, hi. A familiar face had come to greet me.
本日からここにお住まいだそうで、クラスだけでなく寮生としても同窓ですね。よろしくお願いします。
Oh, yeah.
見ての通り、今や女子寮と化している場所ですので、よっぽどずうずうしくても男子の身では入りにくいかと思いましたが、歓迎しますね。別のお住まいを探すならいくらでも協力しますので、いつでもおっしゃってください。おっと、その前に新しい学校を探す方が先ですか。
Haha. Despite her snidely aggressive tendencies compared to the bizarre glares from everyone else, I was grateful to have her here just because she knew my situation.
あ、そうそう。今さっきですけど、今現在寮に住んでる女子全員に市松さんがここに住む旨と事情をメールしました。あの彼、ここに住むのかい？ここ女子寮なんじゃないんですか、先輩。
本人の強い希望によりゲストルームへドン引き。転校生さん、初めての男性ですよね。どんな人なんでしょう。近づいちゃダメ。まだ虚勢もしてないのよ。転校初日からあのシルビア王女にちょっかいかけたという命知らずなオスなのよ。私たちも危ないんじゃ。
What did her email say? Show me.
レディーの指針を除くなんて褒められませんよ。
Noble!
すいません。しかしもう無理です、庶民様。貴族を家に帰らせてください。
あらあら、入居した庶民はあの六音寺の御曹司を相手に怒鳴り散らすほど凶暴な危険人物。送信。イエーイ！
Ah, damn it. That's enough. How about you tell me where my room is?
ええ。こちらへどうぞ。
I headed toward the terrace while bearing the full brunt of their stares. There were clusters of rooms on the other side of the terrace, but the room she guided me to was the closest to us on the first floor. The room was at least 214 square feet. It was huge! Not only had my luggage been delivered, but several pieces of furniture were already assembled and ready for me. Phew!
こんなところでしょうか。
Yeah, I'd say so. I opened 2 cardboard boxes and rearranged the provided furniture.
こちらの段ボールは
Just some recreational and hobby-related stuff, so be careful.
そうですか。では、手伝いもここまでということで。
Yeah, thanks, Kikuchio. I feel like I kind of turned you into an errand boy.
いえいえ、困っている庶民を助けるのは貴族の務めですから。もっと言えば、今外に出られませんから。
That's true. Since this room was closest to the terrace, we could clearly hear all of the faint ramblings coming from the other side of the walls. There were a decent number of girls chatting amongst themselves about my new room. It wasn't so much about my room specifically, but more so the fact that a savage commoner screamed and forced his way inside the women's dorm. I already had my hands full with my crappy classmates. I didn't expect things to be just as suffocating here too.
もうしばらくお邪魔させてください。ほとぼりが冷めた頃、こそっと帰ります。
Yeah, I'm sorry about this. I felt guilty for causing him so much trouble, especially when we had only just met.
うん。
With that, Kikuchio looked around the room.
やはりこれといった品はなし。どれも既製品ばかり。オーロ君はやはり皆さんのおっしゃる通り、特徴のある家柄ではないのですね。
You can't just be blunt and say I'm poor.
そうですね。貧乏です。
I'm starting to get a better read on you the more time we spend together. He wasn't a bad guy, but he was severely lacking in the common sense department. Probably like the rich guy from the earlier manga chapters of Koch Kame.
こう言うと失礼ですが、クルス・クラウンさんとはどこでお知り合いになったので？昨今はインターネットはじめ出会いの場は多いですが、にしても気になってしまいます。
Well, we kinda ran into each other on the street, started talking, and became fast friends. I hadn't lied.
そうですか。縁は稲もの味なものですね。
More or less. I had no interest in joking around with Kikuchio about this topic any further. Alright, I wasn't sure, so I should probably ask. Is Sortilège really some sort of, like, gigantic country? I'd heard the name a lot, but knew nothing about the country itself. The only info I could find online suggested that it was a pro-Japanese country which gave me little to go off of.
小さな大国ですよ。そして今後、小さな超大国になるやもしれない。21世紀の産業を考えれば、日本にとっての存在感は相当なものです。
How so?
立ち位置や地政学などですでにある程度価値の動きにくい米国中国に比べればずっと気を使う相手かと。
I didn't know much about inter-country affairs, but I got that it was probably astounding.
ソルティレージは現在人工知能プログラム、仮想通貨のブロックチェーンプロトコルなどソフト技術で世界を席巻しており、日本は飛行機、リニア、水素発電とハード技術で世界からの需要で溢れています。さらにソルティレージには複数の特許的優位な軍需産業も。
Like that toy they turned into a high-powered laser weapon?
これら軍需企業が日本の技術をいくつか欲しており、同時に軍隊および軍需産業を持てない日本にとって提携するのに非常に旨味のある相手でもある。お互いのアピールポイントの都合、そして何より共に皇室王室と 歴史の境を大事にする国民性から両国は極めて良好な状態を築いています。何でもソルティレージ王室の第一王女は結婚相手に日本人を推薦したとか。
That's incredible. All of the technical stuff aside, Sortilege seemed to have a good relationship with Japan at the state level. What would happen if things turned volatile between the two?
一生恨まれるでしょうね。ソルティレージュにも日本の全国民にも。
Oh, I was in a more astounding situation than I originally thought. Thank goodness they didn't label me as a kidnapper yesterday, otherwise they probably would have killed me.
なぜそんなことを聞くので？
Hypothetically speaking, with as good of friends as we are, what do you suppose would happen if Sylvie and I were to get into a fight or something?
やめてください。日本国民として生きた心地がしません。
Would it really be that bad? That's when I realized. There was no way out of this situation anymore.
話していたら喉が渇きましたね。
Yeah, I worked up quite a sweat after moving all those boxes around. I'll grab us some drinks. Are you okay with Lamunet? I pulled out 2 Lamunet bottles that I had brought with me. They were room temperature, but they would be perfect given how cold it was today.
何ですこれ？ジュースでしょうか？買った！蓋の部分が全然取れない。硬すぎます。
Oh yeah, I did the same thing when I was a kid. He didn't seem to know about Adamune at all. And then...
陣中の時間だ！
What? Punishment? Who is it?
くず流線！
I was bombarded with 9 instantaneous strikes. What's your problem?
陣中見舞いを。
Now that's nice of you. Ah, thanks. I appreciate the support, but why use the punished sides technique to do it? I helped myself to the soda and chips she brought with her in exchange for playing along and letting her use me as a punching bag.
うんうん。片付け終わって手伝わなくて良さそうな時間を狙ってきたけど、ちょうどっぽい？
Yeah, perfect timing. Kikuchio was a huge help.
おや、キサキさん。
スキクちゃん。ラムネの蓋取ろうとしてるの？そんなにビー玉好きだっけ？ダーン！
Dana didn't hesitate to jump on my bed. Hey, this is my room and I haven't even gotten the chance to use it yet.
いいじゃん、これくらい。ぽよーんぽよーんぽいーん。
Ah, now she's breaking in the bed springs. She had stolen 2 of the biggest thrills you could get when moving.
まあまあ。あ、あら、キクちゃん。この部屋のトイレもう使った？
Not yet.
初トイレいただき！
Hey you, hold it! The door to the bathroom was all too cruelly closed.
実はちょっと溜まってたんだよね。
Hey wait, it's my room and you're planning to take my bathroom's virginity too?
いいじゃん。さすがにボンジョルノはしないから。CC 上までだから。
Uh-huh. Ugh, fine. That would leave the biggest thrill of new bathroom intact, huh? I'll allow it, but no big ones. We are right out here, so we'll be able to hear it if you do.
オーロ君、女性のそういうことに聞き耳を立てるのはいかがかと。
You're right, I lost my cool. I walked back over to Kikuchio.
初ベッドとか初トイレとか不思議なこだわりがあるのですね。
You don't?
全然。
What a weirdo. Oh, I guess you'd get used to living in a brand new place if you've got over 100 vacation homes.
確かに。
That's a very commoner-like sentiment, huh? Breaking in a new bed or bathroom could be exciting in its own way. It wasn't like this sort of thing happened every day. Even breaking in a new bed at a hotel could be exciting if you let it. That was apparently a sensation lost on nobles.
ああ、さっぱりした。タオル借りたよ。
Sure, if it's just a towel. Wait, her hair was wet? Hey, you even broke in the shower?
私もラムネ飲みたい。もらうね。
Reina raided the fridge without asking. She rounded up the edge of her towel, used it to press in the marble, and opened up the bottle with ease. She was acting like she owned the place. Yeesh!
風呂上がりはこれだ。
This pissed me off a little, but... Oh! A cute girl fresh out of the shower was relaxing on my bed. With that thought in mind, I guess I couldn't complain too much. There was a stark contrast between her and Kikuchio, as he was still struggling to open his bottle. Reina, are you poor?
急に何？
That came out wrong. As Kikuchio would say, are you more of a noble or a commoner like me?
ああ、
Reina skillfully caught the marble within the neck of the bottle and downed the beverage in a single chug.
親は年収300万。うち150をパチスロに突っ込むロマンあふれる弓追い人にございます。
Simple enough of a self-introduction to follow.
そっちは？
My parents aren't much for slots and are a bit more reliable than that. But we definitely don't have a maid or butler.
なら私側だ。
Noble Academy sure has high standards. What's your family like, Kikuchio?
僕への面通しが叶う執事だけで80人ですね。その下にはもう10倍ほどいるはずですが。
Got it. Open the ramen, Noble.
勝ってー
I probably shouldn't say this, but it's strange that you're friends with a certain princess.
友情はね、どこにでも芽生えるから友情なのさ。バイ、どっかの名言言いそうな誰か。てか、オーロは人のこと言えねえかよ。
I have my reasons. My three options were to lose an arm, be locked up, or become her friend. I didn't think actually becoming friends with Sylvie was a bad thing though. Unlike me, I'd heard that this girl had worked her way into Sylvie's inner circle the right way. She did seem to be well spoken. I had completely opened up to her in a day's time too.
オーロも仲良くした方がいいよ。フィクション以外にも友達作ってさ。あ、そうそう。外のみんながえって先立ってたけど、何かしたの？
I didn't. This was all just a misunderstanding. No, not so much a misunderstanding.
あやかっちにはめられた？
She asked after taking out her cell phone. It looked like she'd received the same email Jogasaki had sent out earlier. If you know that much, then I'll make this quick. As a fellow commoner, I'd like to ask you for a favor.
みんなの誤解を解いてとかなら無理。
She single-handedly destroyed all of my hopes. I'm begging you, they're treating me like I'm some sort of criminal.
ああ、うんうん、言われてる。
She showed me her cell phone. It appeared she was chatting with her friends outside of a... Luine. The hate speech seemed to be building up at an alarming rate on the other side of the door.
悪いやつじゃないくらいは言っとくよ、一応。
I'm counting on you. That was a little comforting to hear. Huh. As far as my impressions of my first day at this new school went, the richest school in Japan sure isn't kind to commoners.
だね。
Every last one of them was making fun of commoners. Kikuchio wasn't mocking us, but he definitely saw us as distinctly different creatures. It was probably a given in the world of quote-unquote nobles. That sort of behavior was one of the first things governors of certain Middle Eastern countries taught their heirs. Commoners aren't like us. They aren't human, so there is no need to pity them. They are all disposable. It was irritating from a commoner's point of view, but it was an essential sentiment for nobles. It would be easy to raise a rich, magnanimous scion who might one day come to care about commoners and bring their lineage to ruin. That was why nobles educated their children that way. Perhaps it was inevitable that the students of Noble Academy who congregated here from across Japan looked down upon us commoners. I wasn't enough of a child to get angry over it. It was just irritating.
私も最初は苦労したっけ。
This has happened before? You're so chatty with everyone though. What happened?
普通に化粧の話とかで寄ってってそのまま。
Would it work out as long as you were as sociable as she was? I considered myself to be quite eloquent, but it won't be easy to recover from being thought of as a criminal.
まあ厳しい子多いけどね、あやかちとか。
She sure is. As of this moment, she was my biggest adversary. This was beyond being looked down on. She considered commoners to be a nuisance for being at this academy, as well as occupying the same space as her. She was determined to drive me out, and wasn't trying to hide how badly she wanted me to leave. Was she traumatized by a commoner or something?
知らない。
Hmm? I noticed Reina's expression suddenly grew serious. What was that all about? No sooner did I think that, than she flashed a sudden smirk.
よかった。メンタル大丈夫みたいだね、オーロ。
Hmm?
転入直後につらたんだったから、今頃真顔が止まらなくなってるかもって思ってきてみたんだけど。
Ah. Reina claimed she came by to cheer me up, so I guess she was worried about me. I'll be fine if that's all they throw at me. Sure, I was being bullied, but mercifully, rich people had an elegant way of bullying you. They didn't inflict any direct physical harm. It wasn't bad enough yet to be considered real hardship.
よしよし、それなら楽しむとしましょうか。
Huh?
オーロくんのプライベート拝見。こいつがプライベートボックス？
She pulled out a sealed cardboard box. I guess she was done fussing over me. There are things inside that box I wouldn't want anyone to see, I guess.
だから漁るんじゃん。
Made sense.
ちゅうわけで、ウェイ！
She opened it up without hesitation. What was in that box again? I was in too much of a rush yesterday to really have a chance to sort through my belongings.
ねえねえオーロ、面白いもんある？エロいもん希望。
Naughty stuff. Well, I suppose there is.
えげちいのあるかな？で、一発目でおエッチなお本を発見した！おいおい、本当に出るかよ。あれ？反応なし。
I don't know whether you're some closeted porn-reading perv or one of those sexy girl types, but both would be valid personalities for you.
羞恥心は？
I'm not going to act ashamed in front of someone who shamelessly digs through another person's belongings without permission. Those porno mags were a spur-of-the-moment purchase at a convenience store, but they are pretty shabby and I don't care for them much. It would be pretty embarrassing if she saw what I was actually into, but porn you didn't care about was just flesh-colored paper.
チェー。
Dana tossed the magazine aside. Weren't you looking for something naughty?
恥ずかしがるオーロが見たいだけでおっぱいが見たいなら自分のがあるし。
Good point.
このラムネとやらなかなか蓋が取れないな。汗をかいてしまいました。休憩しますか。おや、この本は一体。わあ！
Oh, the boob lover found it.
失礼な。誰がおっぱいが好きだと。おっぱいがその。うわ！ おっぱいがいっぱいだ。
キクチョン体勢なさそうだもんね。
Is this your first time looking at porno, Max?
当たり前です。こんな不死だらな。こんなうわーおっぱー。
You can have it. Call it a gift for helping me out.
こういう感じの反応がオーロにもあればな。あ、エロ本もう一冊発見。
I did bring a few of them after all. Wait, whoa, not that one.
なんで？そっちのと一緒じゃん。違うといえばちょっと古いのと。ページがなんかパリパリしてるような。
That's because, you could say that it was the first one that, tended to my needs.
このパリパリは？
I wonder why it's gooey when it comes out, but turns crunchy when it dries. You don't need to sniff it.
確認のために聞くけど、これって。
My partner in graduating from virginity.
最悪かよ。
Lena tossed it away. How could she treat my first love so terribly? I rushed to affectionately retrieve the abandoned magazine.
汚ねえなもう。なんか他にないの？こう適度にオーロがきょとる程度の適度なエロさの。エロさの。この段ボール全部エロかよ。
Huh, seriously? I deemed all of it essential and packed a decent amount, but between the Pornomax DVDs, Blu-rays and games, you're right. Well, these are all essentials, so there's no escaping of it being porn.
探してはいたけど多すぎ。目はったく。ん？
What?
なんかこのエロ本エロゲエロビデオ全体的に傾向が似てない？両辱、謹慎、ハードエロ。あ、でもこっちは純愛、甘エロ、おねしょた、おじろり。エロの種類が散らばってるかな。
Yeah, that's right. I'm not really picky, so I never got fixated on one specific fetish.
でもなんか全体に共通点がある。ああ！
Ack!
これ女の子が全部黒髪ロングだ。
What do you mean? I haven't got a clue. Oh, but you're right. There are lots of girls with long black hair. Wow, coincidental bias sure is a scary thing, huh?
オーロ黒髪ロングフェチかよ。
Huh, it's kinda ironic then that this visual novel has not a single heroine with long black hair. It's not a fetish. It's certainly not extreme enough to be a fetish. For whatever reason, no matter the medium, the covers that caught my eye always ended up featuring women with long black hair.
ぶっこいても無駄無駄。
Ugh.
なんだよ照れて。可愛いかよ。
She finally got her grubby hands on some good heckling material. My face, unsurprisingly, was beet red.
にしても黒髪ロングフェチ。あれってことはオーロ的には私みたいな髪は NG？
I wouldn't say that, but it does make me wonder why you dye it.
チェブリーチって大変なんだぜ。ん？
What?
あ、なんか悟った。悟り開いた。
Lena shot me an awkward smirk. What's that all about?
オーロ、学園でフルボッコされても平気だったのってうちの学園の女子が黒髪ロングばっかりだったからだ。
Ark!
てかここが女子寮って分かった後びくつきながらも逃げずに住もうとしてるのもここの子たちほぼ全員黒髪ロングだからだ。
Ark! Ark!
下げ入ってると思って損した。ノーブル生活満喫中じゃん。
Well, Noble Academy. From what I'd seen, there were mostly high-class girls in attendance, and none of them seemed mischievous or trendy enough to dye their hair. Most of the girls I'd encountered, both at school and here at the dorm, had black hair, so of course I was excited. Not in any way worth mentioning, jeez.
少なくともあやかっちにいてこまされても平気なのはそこが原因しょ。
If I think about how much I'd like to grab onto that black hair of hers, then I can ignore most of her nasty behavior. That must have tickled her funny bone pretty hard as Elena proceeded to smack the bed and howled with laughter.
よいせ。
She immediately started fiddling with her phone. Louine?
今日の子全員に送信しようと思って。転入生は黒髪ロングには無条件で優しいらしいよって。
Knock it off! She was going to bruise my already tainted reputation. I quickly confiscated her cell phone. Once again, Elena broke out into an uncontrollable giggle fit.
いやー、でもならうちの学園は最高だよ。うちで髪染めてる子なんてほんのちょっとだもん。私と友達に何人かと、あと彼女くらいかな。
At that moment... Huh?
ごめんなさい、もう読みません。
A loud banging noise came from the neighboring wall. That was...
壁ドンかっこ隣人編だね。騒ぎすぎた。
Yeah. Sounds like Elena's laughter had disturbed them. I'd heard this was one of the guest rooms. There's someone next door?
っていうか、オーロはゲストルーム使う2人目だから。
Did that mean there was another transfer student before me? What are they like?
可愛い子だよ。仲良くなるのはちとむずたんだけど。
Even you can't manage it? If this concentrated mass of conversational prowess couldn't get along with her, then... She sounded like a tough nut to crack. Maybe it would be best if I didn't get involved with her.
続きは静かに漁りますか。こっちの段ボールは。
Regardless of how I felt, Elena continued digging through my belongings and opened another box filled with basic sundries.
こっちはなんか普通。
And just like everyone else, so that would only make sense.
漫画に漫画に漫画に漫画。あれだね。参考書的なブレは一切ないね。
Well, yeah, I'm an average guy.
あ、これポストカード？
Ah, crap, she saw. It was different from the manga or porn goods she'd seen before. These really were my personal items.
マリア・ビショップ。オーロも好きなんだ。
What? I figured she'd just ignore it and move on, but she continued. You know her?
知ってるも何も最近人気じゃん。日本の音楽業界最後の歌姫って。
Yeah, they do. I responded as calmly as possible. The songstress Maria Bishop. Between CD and concert sales, as well as online downloads, the Japanese music industry was unable to accurately tabulate one's popularity. However, everyone was talking about Maria Bishop. Fans seemed to lose their minds whenever a new song was announced online too. So-called divas were big in Japan some time ago. They were rampantly commercialized with CDs and concerts the moment their name got out and would eventually be seen as nothing more than an amateur singer. We, the consumers, rejected that level of commercialization as hard as we could, but only the trillions of online views and hundreds of millions of downloads mattered, and they showed no signs of stopping. After simultaneously winning musical awards in America and the United Kingdom, Japanese TV stations and the internet became equally obsessed with Maria Bishop.
いいよね、この子。歌は綺麗だし、こびないし。
She doesn't do talk shows or anything either. Maria would occasionally appear on television, but she'd never gone on the sort of programs hosted by entertainers or sunglasses-wearing old men. She would simply sing one of her songs and then promptly leave. The fact that she wasn't a sellout and made seldom appearances at massive venues over the last few years only made her seem even more charismatic. You could even say she had kicked the stereotype held by the TV and music industry since the 80s, which felt that singers have to be engaging squarely in the butt.
財界でも有名です。事務所に迎えられれば経済効果は計り知れないとか。
でかい事務所ではないんだってね。個人かな。そういうのに全部背を向けてるのもいいのよ。
まあそれはそれでそうした売り方もあるのですが。
She's incredibly beautiful, so I'm sure she's made a killing off of goods sales alone. Maria Bishop sure is great. She's fantastic.
黒髪ロングだしね。
Ugh. Don't say it. That may have been how she'd caught my eye in the first place. Her black hair, it looked so long, it probably reached the floor when she stood upright. Then again, it was most definitely a wig or hair extensions if it reached the floor. Maria Bishop. I had no interest in celebrities. But this was one girl I'd love to meet, even just once.
やっと練習が終わった。久しぶりだから少々衰えていますね。迎えの約束まであと15分。やや早かったか。まあよい。このくらいならあっという間に。何か物音が。こっちか。
Oh.
失礼ながら
Rock Spirit.
あなたはノーブル学園の生徒で？あ？まあどちらにしろここは枯れ草も多い。喫煙は推奨できません。
Oh, she's smoking? No, maybe she's the one who's responsible for the smell on the rooftop.
誰もいないと思ったのに。邪魔になったなら失敬。行かないの？迎えが来るまであと10分あります。10分間は見張らせていただく。邪魔に思われるやもしれないが、こちらもそうしたことを見逃せない性分ですので。うぜ。ここにはよく来られるので？たまに。良いところです。昼はとても景色が良くて空気もきれいで、夜は少し怖いですね。綺麗は綺麗ですが、それが逆に。特に湖はもう真っ暗で。落ちたら確実に死ぬからな。受水自殺ってどう思う？
What?
は？苦しいのかな？文献によれば、この世で最も苦しい死に方は焼死、次が溺死だと聞きます。ああ、死人が書いた本があるのかは知らないけど、文献が言うなら信じるかな。貴公の私生活に踏み込むつもりはないが、自殺はタバコ以上に推奨できませんよ。わかってるよ。こっちだって死にたいわけじゃない。ただここ、知ってるか？浜松湖湖畔。この湖はさ、永遠につながるってお話があんの。永遠？この湖に入ったものは、輝ける永遠の時間へ旅立つことになるって。まあ要するに、ここ湖の中でも海に近くてつながってるから、入ると海まで流されて永遠に漂うってことらしいけど。ああ、なるほど。でも永遠ってのは憧れるよな。永遠の時間ってのは。 自殺はしないって。2番目に苦しい死に方が永遠になったら困るしな。死ぬときは別の方法にする。そうですか。永遠の時間。確かに憧れる言葉です。私にも昔そんな時があった。いつまでも続いてほしい時間が。10分じゃね。ですね。では私はこれで。そう。機会がありましたらまたいずれ。あと喫煙は勧められませんよ。いやー、ようやく笑けるもんが出てきた。さあ、次は何が出るかな。
You're still doing that? Elena continued to rustle her way through the boxes. Oh well, it had been pretty entertaining to watch, so I guess it was okay. With that, Elena's eyes changed color. They're still blue though.
なにこれ、ロマンスの神様出てきてない？
Orohora. The next thing Elena smugly took out was a tiny case. It was a small, palm-sized box, but it was a beautiful item lined with felt. She could probably guess what was inside on sight alone.
こいつあれだよね。ピアス的な、ネックレス的なのを入れるあれだよね。
Yeah. Oh, don't be too rough with it. That's...
しかも正方形。ピアスなら2つあるから長方形。ネックレスなら長細くなるはず。つまり指輪。
She opened it as enthusiastically as she could. But...
あれから？
Idiot. She'd whipped back the cover with all her might.
何にも入ってないじゃん。ねえ、オーロ。
Don't move!
すいません。おっぱいなんて見てません。
I cried out to Elena a little louder than I probably should have.
ごめん、怒った。私。
Like I said, don't move. You either, Kikuchio. Let's see. Alright, that's 2. You can move now. Kikuchio, you can go back to your porno mag too. Her opening the box so quickly had caused its content to spill out, and I went to pick them up. They were paper, so air pressure would send them flying if opened carelessly.
何それ？ラブリッチマーク？
What's a Loveriche anyway? Yeah. They were silver Loveriche emblems that came with chocolate bolos. I only have 2, so don't be rough with them. It'd be awful if they got lost. I put them back into the box I used as their container.
ごめん。でもこんな綺麗な入れ物気になるじゃん。なんでこんな豪勢なもん使ってんのよ。
Well, yeah, it might be a little too stylish for a candy prize holder.
お母さんにでも空き箱をもらったの？
No, I found one someone dropped, so I went ahead and used it.
なんだ、ゴミか。
It's not trash, but I guess you're not wrong. It had 10 years worth of sentimental value attached to it.
オロホラ？メーカーすら聞いたことない。
Me either. I had looked into it, but it seemed to be a manufacturer that went under over 30 years ago. Orohora rings.
拾ったって言ってたけど、中身はその時からなかったわけ？
No, it wasn't, I think. I don't fully remember, but I just gave it to someone.
お待たせ。シルビー様。
ちょっと遅れちゃったわね。美味しいメロンパンがたくさんあったから。
そんなに食べたのですか？夕飯が食べられないのでは？
食べられるわ。
愚問でした。申し訳ありません。従者の私の送り迎えにシルビー様に遠回りしてもらうなど。
いいのよ。ここからうちの別荘じゃ車がないとさすがに遠いでしょ。それに私、夜のドライブは好きだわ。特にこの街の湖畔は夜景がすごく綺麗だし。
ですね。輝ける永遠なんて表現にも負けないくらい綺麗な夜景です。
10年前から変わらない。初恋のあの人にも会えたらよかったのに。